Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us during today's session. This is day 2 of Florida Shines Virtual College Night. My name is Nashla Daware. I will be facilitating today's session, which is focused on completing your degree with Complete Florida. Before we begin, I have a few items I want to share with you. If you have any questions during this session, please put them in the chat box. In the question box actually, and we will address them during the session with the team presenting today. Today's session will be recorded as well and available online, along with all of the materials shared during today's sessions at www.floridashines.org. And the last housekeeping item I want to share with you today is that we are live on Twitter, so feel free to share your comments and connect with us at FL Shines. Today's session is Get Your Degree with Complete Florida. We are very excited to have Michelle Horton, and she's joined by the Complete Florida coaches today, Bridget, Matt, and Akila. Michelle actually began her career in higher education in 2006, and her background includes student and community development. She has a master's degree in administration with an emphasis in human performance technology from the University of West Florida, and is completing a doctoral program in higher education leadership from Nova Southeastern University. Again, we are very excited to have Michelle and her team with us today. I will not take any more time, so without further ado, Michelle, welcome.
Thank you, Nashla. We are really excited to be here today and share information about Complete Florida. What we'd like to start with is a history of Complete Florida, an overview of the program, and we're going to wrap up by sharing how to get started and having a conversation with our coaches on how they can help you get ready, plan, and get started. So a brief explanation of Complete Florida is that it's a service provided by the state of Florida to help adults come back to college and finish their degree. All courses are 100% online, and students are matched with a personal coach to help along the way. The mission of Complete Florida is to provide educational opportunities for the growing numbers of adults who have completed some college but haven't earned a degree. The Complete Florida philosophy is that education should be affordable, accessible, and attainable for anybody who wants it, not only for a select few. That is why Complete Florida offers more than 90 fully online undergraduate degree programs from 14 Florida public and private institutions that offer flexible, focused, and accelerated programs designed for working adults. As of July of this year, the Complete Florida program has provided more than $335,000 in scholarships for the more than 90 online programs available through our partner institutions. The top degree programs include nursing, IT network services, workforce and professional studies, along with business administration. One of the biggest values of the Complete Florida program are the coaches. Our coaches, we have Coach Bridget here today, Coach Akila, and Coach Matt, and we're going to talk to them in a little bit about how to get started. But our Complete Florida coaches play a vital role in the successful launch of the Complete Florida students' journey back into college. Coaches provide information, support, and resources to help Complete Florida students navigate the application and enrollment process, which is often an obstacle for students wanting to get started. These coaches are experts at helping students with financial aid, transcripts and articulation, and degree planning. Complete Florida students can save time and money by creating a plan for college. Our website provides prospective students with tools for creating their degree plan to reduce false starts, changed majors, and penalties. Our coaches are also available to prospective students to help them make sense of the requirements and the variety of programs available, which can be very daunting for many of our students. Coaches are trained to consider the students' interests, experience, and career goals to help them decide which program is best for them. They will even help students determine if they can earn credit for prior work experience. And this is very important to understand, and this is one of the valuable aspects of Complete Florida, because we understand that there's not a one-size-fits-all. We want to help customize the path that best meets the student's needs. So that's where the coaches come into play. We have lots of partners to choose from. We have 14 partner schools throughout the state. They offer over 90 online degree and certificate programs, and these courses are fully online, which means they are available whenever students want them, 24/7. This is another valuable asset to choosing Complete Florida, because we know our students are managing lives outside of their education, and we want to provide the best strategies and to make that a workable solution. So our partners range anywhere from the University of West Florida all the way down to Miami-Dade College, with 5 universities, 6 state colleges, and 3 private universities. We have online degree programs in business and management, education, general AA degrees, healthcare and information technology. A lot of our students start out with completing their AA degree and then transferring into the university of their choice. Through the Complete Florida statewide partnership network, students can choose these degree and certificate programs that prepare for jobs identified in the findings of the Board of Governors Commission on Educational Access and Attainment as some of the most high demand fields in Florida, including cybersecurity, special education, workforce management, criminal justice, and nursing. We have over 100 or 90 degree and certificate programs at partner institutions that are all online, and you have lots of options to choose from. We have a special attention to military. Our Complete Florida Military was created in 2015 with funding from the Florida Defense Support Task Force to provide targeted, tailored support to members of Florida's active military and veteran community and their dependents. It is an important element in helping veterans and military service members overcome the unique challenges they face in returning to college, which include not only work and family obligations, but oftentimes deployments and service-connected disabilities. A great opportunity for those who are traveling often. They can get started in a program, and it doesn't matter if they move, they can complete their program. Specific services offered through Complete Florida Military include assistance in locating fully online programs that coordinate with credentials obtained during military service and expedite degree completion, connections to career information, and support in high-demand fields in Florida. Coaching to support military students in accessing benefits, selecting best fit degrees and certificate, and obtaining credit for prior knowledge and experience. This is a little bit about what our students are saying. We've had lots of testimonials from our students who said, you know, I just don't know where to begin, and my Complete Florida coach really helped navigate that for me. Complete Florida is really designed for today's adult learner because the majority of Complete Florida students are working adults, many with families. Their time is precious. Complete Florida has been designed to support these non-traditional learners, requiring only a few clearly defined steps to make the process of returning to college relatively straightforward and simple. Each step in the process is deeply supported through coaching, institution-based liaisons, and streamlined and expedited processes intended to eliminate administrative and technical barriers so students can focus on the important things in their lives. Bottom line is that you have somebody to connect with that's going to help you from start to finish. And those people who are going to help you from start to finish are here today. And we're going to talk about getting started and how to get ready with the application, how to plan, and how to finalize and submit your application. So I have Coach Bridget, Coach Akila, and Coach Matt here today, and we're going to start our discussion with how do we get ready? We've decided, yeah, I think I want to pursue the Complete Florida program, and I want to start my application. So I'm going to turn it over to Bridget. And Bridget, I'm going to ask you, how do you know if you're eligible for Complete Florida?
Well, if you're a Florida resident and if you've successfully completed some college level coursework, but for whatever reason you've stopped out, left the institution in good standing before you actually completed a degree, then you're definitely eligible for Complete Florida. There's also potential eligibility if you completed vocational or competency-based education courses. But with that, just let us know so we can check it out and make sure that that is a potential possibility for you to move forward with that as well.
And a lot of our students aren't sure what type of program they want to pursue. Matt, can you talk a little bit about the importance? Do you have to know right away what you want to select?
No, not at all. That's one thing that's great about the Complete Florida application. What students have the opportunity to do is select a program or just even a particular section of area that they're interested in. And so that's one thing that's good that whenever students have that ability, because whenever they do submit their application, we as coaches are able to actually see that information, and it allows us to engage in a conversation with the student and just kind of understand where they're coming from their background and what they've previously done in other degree programs. And so it gives us an idea of where to start from for what type of degrees are going to be available.
Great. And a lot of times the application process can be quite daunting for students. How do you prepare for gathering the documents? Akilah, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. First, you need to start early. Go ahead and gather your residency information. Residence information, it includes your car registration, your driver's license. Those are some of the major items. You may also need, your birth certificate in the future. Also, if you're military, you may need your military verification, your DD-214, your dependency verification, or let us know that if you're active duty, because there's ways to get assistance through the tuition assistance process through the military. Also, gather your unofficial transcripts. You may say, hey, I haven't gone to school, in 20 years. There's ways that you can obtain that information online. Go online, search for your school, look under unofficial transcripts. You may have to call in, but there are ways to obtain those transcripts.
And that would be a common question for students is how do I get my transcripts? And that's something that I know our coaches are very familiar with helping our students navigate that process. So let's talk a little bit about planning. You've started your Complete Florida application, and now it's time to really connect with a coach. Bridget, can you talk about your first meeting as a coach with your students?
Yeah, basically once you apply through Complete Florida, then you're going to be assigned a coach. So you're going to definitely hear from either Akilah, Matt, or myself. And our role is to act as your advocate, your liaison during your time in college. So we offer what we like to say is your one-on-one support. We try to provide guidance from the moment of your application through the completion of your degree. So as your coach, we just really want to get an idea of what it is that you have as far as interest, your goals, so that we can help you align your interests with your career aspirations, develop a plan to achieve your career goals. So for instance, I'm really not a huge fan of math and science, so I really don't need to look into healthcare or accounting as my field of of study, because if I do, then that's probably not something I'm going to be as successful at, just because it's not of an interest for me, or it's not an area that's going to be as natural for me. Just to always remember that as your coaches, we want to hear from you so that we can be kept in the loop about your progress, to know if there's anything that we can assist you with. We're here for you.
So talking about online programs and degree options and jobs, Akilah, can you talk about how you guide students through the exploration of a career pathway?
Why, yes. First off, students can do the Cooter assessments. With the Cooter assessment, it helps them determine what career most fits their interests. You need to determine why you really want to return to school. that question, it does come up quite a bit. What I tell students, what is your reason for returning to school? Is it because you're wanting a promotion on the job, or is it because you're just wanting to check something off on your bucket list? You need to determine that, and then that way you'll know which type of degree you want to pursue. Because you want to pursue something that will, that you will enjoy doing, because it is a timely process, and that's something that you're going to devote time to, and you want to enjoy what you're doing. So you need to decide, the reason why you're actually returning to school.
And how do you access that Cooter assessment? Is it something that the coach provides a link to?
Yes, we will provide that information to the student. Once they actually submit their application and they're assigned to the coach, we send that link to the student. They go on there, create their profile, and they can complete the assessments there.
Great. That sounds like a really good tool. The unofficial transcript review. Matt, tell us why that's important.
Absolutely. It's one of our best tools, I think, that we have with our students and with our partners is, like Akila said earlier about getting your unofficial transcripts. We recommend students to send us a copy of those unofficial transcripts, because even as coaches, we have backgrounds in advising, and we can look over transcripts ourselves and just kind of see where a student's at. And then along with that, with our partners, we send the transcripts to our representatives at each of the partner schools so they can give us a little bit more in-depth look on how many transfer credits can actually go in for the student, which it gives the student an idea of like weighing between different schools. They have one option here and another option here. So it's kind of really a shopping for a degree in a way.
Okay, and it might be based on, determinations like how quickly do you want to finish, or, which college will take the most credit, or that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one thing that's good too is we can help the student weigh the options of tuition and costs and other things like that that might come up.
So really the goal is to give a student a plan that they know, okay, if I accept this plan, I know when I'm going to finish and how much it's going to cost.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And then in order to get started, we need to go ahead and complete that or submit that Complete Florida application and really start to think about how we're going to pay. Akila, can you talk about some strategies for paying for college that we navigate with students?
Of course, money, money, money. That's what a lot of students worry about. Paying for college. How am I going to pay for college? First thing I tell them, hey, apply for your FAFSA. The website is fafsa.ed.gov. That's FAFSA.ed.gov. The application is pretty simple. It is a step-by-step process. You will need some of your your IRS documentation in order to complete that. If you're attending a private institution, don't forget about applying for your FRAG. That's a grant that private institutions can provide to Florida residents while they're attending their school. Also, ask the school about separate scholarships that you may not see posted. The school representative may know of a scholarship that you may qualify for that the general population may not know of. And also speak with your coach. We may have scholarships available for the students as well.
All right. Going back to the documentation required for your application, Matt, can you talk about what the process of submitting this required documentation is?
Yeah, absolutely. And like Akila said earlier, we definitely want the students to have their documentation ready because on the application that is going to be a question that's going to be asked to be able to provide that information. And even after they've submitted the application, the partner institutions are going to want confirmation on that documentation. So it's good to have that available, so whenever the school does follow up with you, it's good to have that information already available. And along with that, you'll need to go ahead and begin ordering official transcripts to be sent to the institution too.
Great. And then the last part of getting started is connecting with the liaison at the partner institution. Bridget, talk a little bit about that, please.
Okay, well, once you've actually submitted your application and it's been forwarded over to our partner institution of your choice, then what we'll do is we'll actually share contact information with you so that you are able to connect with our Complete Florida representative at that particular partner institution. these Complete Florida reps are so wonderful about helping our students and also just helping us guiding our students to the next steps in their admission process. And that could even include just guidance to correct information about their academic advising, their specific policies and procedures of the institution, registration information. All of that's very valuable information that the reps are able to share with us and the students. They're just a valuable resource to us for any of Complete Florida.
Well, thank you, Bridget, Akila, and Matt. One thing that we want our audience to know, if you're watching this, know that you're not alone. There are more than 2.8 million Floridians who started and never finished their degree. And many of you, we know, are ready to get started and just don't know how. And that's the best part of our service to you, is that we do know how, and we know how to help navigate through the admissions process, the connecting with the college of your choice, the registration of classes, and taking you all the way through to graduation. So let us help you get started today, and we want to thank you for attending, and we want to give you the opportunity to ask any questions you may have. So Nashla, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Michelle. We have a few questions, and again, I just want to say what makes Complete Florida so unique and outstanding is, like you said, the process can be so overwhelming, and having someone matched with you that can help you from start to finish really takes that stress away, so that you can then focus on being a student, right, and be successful and complete your degree. So thank you for covering those steps. We have a question related to transcripts. Are you able to accept transcripts from universities outside the U.S.? And so we have someone interested in or in the field of computer engineering who has not completed a degree, but the majority of his academic record is outside of the U.S. Can you walk us through how that process works and the review process?
Sure, Matt's going to take that question.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have partner institutions that do accept transcripts outside of the U.S. One thing we recommend students to do is go through third-party companies that are located throughout the state that actually will review your foreign transcript, and then they'll actually send you a copy of that evaluation of your foreign transcript, and that can actually be sent on to the university from there to actually be evaluated. In particular, one institution or one company that we do recommend students to look into is Joseph Silney and Company. So definitely just look up, if you do have any questions whenever you do submit your application about that, one of the coaches can definitely assist you with walking you through that process.
Thank you, and we will provide that name on the chat box if you're interested in looking into that company as well. So thank you, Matt and Michelle. In terms of planning and the steps that you covered for a timeline, how quickly can a student get enrolled in a class from the time that they express interest and apply to Complete Florida?
All right, Akila's going to address that question.
Well, that really depends on the student and which school they're going to. Depending on which school, I know Hodges University in particular, they have, it's a self-paced program, so they start every month on the first day of the month. So depending on when you submit your application, when you submit all of your information, you could, potentially start that next month if you're, as long as everything is in. Some schools are more traditional. Considering University of Central Florida, University of West Florida. Most of those schools start on a standard basis. Either, you have your fall registration, your spring registration, and your summer registration. So those are the only times where you could actually start your classes. And then some schools have more of a flexible time within the semester. One school in particular, Florida State College of Jacksonville, they have 2 to 3 terms within one single semester. So you may start in session A, session B, or session C. So it just depends on the school and the student, depending on how soon you get your information in there and depending on what school you actually go to.
Very good. Certainly a lot of factors to consider, but typically you guys, I know, help with making sure that the student takes the fastest and the most convenient route for them. Another question related to programs. So how can somebody, if somebody is focused on pursuing a particular degree, how can they see what's available for Complete Florida in terms of degrees and programs?
And Bridget's going to take that question, Nashla.
Yes, the first thing you need to do is check out our website, and that is completeflorida.org. On there you've actually got the degree program link, so that way you can see what our partner institutions, which ones are there, what they're offering, and then of course at that point if you have additional questions, please let us know, and if it's anything that we need to kind of do a little investigating or research, we'll be happy to do that too. But the main thing is to think of what area that you're interested in, what, you know, we've mentioned a couple of times now, what is the most important to you as far as finishing quickly or finishing in a specific field. And so if you do have that specific field, but you still have that interest in completing quickly, we definitely want to look into if there's opportunities for accelerated programs. And so that's also going to be included with some of our different institutions as well.
Thank you so much for that information. And if you, I heard earlier, if you don't have an interest in mind in terms of degrees and programs, mycareershines.org is a great place to start to explore your interests. Is that what you usually use?
That's correct, Nashla, mycareershines.org, and that is on our Complete Florida website for students to access or potential students to access.
Thank you. We have another question related to cost. So if a student is ready to apply to Complete Florida, is there a fee to apply?
Bridget?
I'm being chatty today, so yes, the only cost to apply is really going to depend on which partner institution that you choose. Whenever you fill out an application through Complete Florida, once you complete it or get to the end of that to submit it, it's going to ask you to make the payment. What that payment is for is the application fee to the university or college. There may be one or two of our institutions that actually don't charge a fee, an application fee, and if that's the case, then it's waived and you don't have to worry about it. If you are a student who has attended a school before and it actually is one of our partner institutions and you're wanting to go back there, then you're considered a readmit, and potentially it would be a waiver on that fee as well. But typically it's going to be anywhere from $25 to $40. It's never over that, just depending on which partner institution you apply for.
Very good. Thank you very much for all of the information. I believe we have covered all the questions that we have from the audience here. Do you have any additional information you'd like to share?
Nashla, we would just like to thank everybody for joining us today, and please refer to our website, completeflorida.org. You can request additional information. You can also email us at coach@completeflorida.org with additional questions, and we'll be happy to respond and help you get started today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle, and the wonderful success coaches for providing a wonderful overview. I hope you're all excited to join and find the best school, the best program, and complete your degree. So this concludes our sessions for the evening. As an attendee, you will receive an email after the session with a link to our survey. So we ask that you take a few seconds to complete the survey so we can continue to find ways to assist you and help you and improve. If you need additional information, you can also email us at collegenight@flvc.org, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at FLShines. We thank you for attending, and once again, thank you, Michelle and the Complete Florida coaches. Have a great evening.
Thank you.